Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. So I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly now that we've had time to think about and process what the island has turned out to be. I'm still hyped for it, but I also have concerns because from what everybody else is telling me from the NBA 2K games and how they do their big city, I have questions. Anyway, so let's get into this. So let's start with the good. I think the good news is a good thing to start with. No pun intended. Anyway, so number one. It says, big new playground with lots of activities, things to explore, stuff to unlock, etc. So it sounds like this will be a fun mode to just lose yourself in, have fun, play around, joke with your friends, and it's like a social hub. It's basically like someone said in my comments, PlayStation Home, which I also played way back on the PS3 for like, I'd check in every once in a while. I was kind of bummed when they took it down because I didn't spend a ton of money in the mode, but I did have like a cool house or a room or space or something and a bunch of cool stuff from having logged in and played a bunch of different games. I kind of wish they kind of kept that going into the PS4 and PS5 generation. Imagine all the cool crap we could have had. That would have been awesome. Number two. Looks like lots of new creation parts. Now we'll get to the bad about that later, but the fact that they're adding in so many new creation parts, I'm giddy like a little schoolgirl, man. My favorite thing that they add to these games is when they go into the creation suite and they finally give us new stuff to create with, because for a while there, I want to say from 2K15 all the way to 2K20, the parts were like the same. They might add a new pant here and there, but for the most part, everything was the same. So it wasn't until 2K20 where they started adding in all the cool new like masks and a bunch of new hairstyles and a bunch of other stuff where you can create different characters, because when you have the access to the same pool of stuff, you're kind of limited by your creativity in that way. Right here, number three, 50-player servers. This will be great for content creators like myself that want to just hang out and fight with their audience. So yeah, if you just want to hang out, do a live stream, we all just get in a big server and just shoot the crap and wrestle. I'll be playing on the PlayStation 5 version. I probably won't get on Xbox this year because why? Anyway, so yeah, if you're on the PlayStation, sound off the comments down below or message me over on X and we'll get things going, because that sounds like really fun to me. Might even set up a Discord just for that. That'd be super fun. Anyway, stay tuned for that. Number four. Live events mean lots of new stuff to do constantly. So unlike My Rise, which we still haven't seen yet, who knows, maybe that'll be free roaming and it still has a separate offline story mode. But unlike My Rise, this will have constant updates, new missions, new stuff to do all the time. Kind of like, I don't want to compare it to My Faction, but My Faction always has something to do in the mode, but this is like a big open zone where you can walk around and do stuff. To me, that's what I want. I don't want stupid, I'm in a card battle game. I wonder if this will kill the card battle game, because everybody's going to be playing the island mode and fighting in there. Why the heck would anybody go back to My Faction? It makes no sense. My Faction, I hope, dies because of the island. Anyway. Next one. Number five. All creation parts unlocked in the island will be available, or should I say on the island, will be available in Creation Suite outside the mode. So the fact that all those parts that we saw in that first trailer for the island, all those cool new parts, it says once you unlock them on the island, it makes them available in the offline Creation Suite. So if you play the game enough, unlock everything before they probably shut the servers down, and which sounds like, we'll get to that in a minute too, the island mode is online only and the island mode will go away, you'll still have access to all your creation parts because you've unlocked them for offline play. 2K20 was like that. They had some online parts that you can only unlock by reaching like prestige or whatever in their My Player mode. I didn't quite understand it, to be honest, because I had been away from this franchise for so long. There was like 2 or 3 masks I didn't unlock, but everything else I unlocked was in there still, even after they shut the servers off. So that's good news. Number 6. The servers should be improved. Let me say that again. The servers should, air quotes, be improved, right? You would think that the servers must be better now with ranked play. Guess we'll find out on launch. We'll find out. I'm guessing the first, was it early access launch when it comes out on the 7th? I feel like that'll be really janky and messed up and have a lot of issues. But then by the 14th, they'll have figured it all out. They'll test the server load, and I think the 14th will be, because if this game has crappy servers and they're pushing this new ranked thing where you walk around and fight people for ranked play and leveling up, that'll kill ranked instantly. I mean, look what happens to all these other games with ranked. Look what happened to AEW. There was some cheese moves in there. There was insane wait times, and it killed the online instantly. And then Dragon Ball Xenoverse, not Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. There were some broken characters. There was a lot of issues with that online, and that killed the competitive scene. And I don't think they ever fixed it, because a lot of people just stopped playing it. That game died in less than a month, which is really sad, because it was beautiful. It was fun to play for like 10 hours, and that was it. That was it. Number 7, single player missions, not just PvP. So there's going to be a lot of single player stuff to do, so you can run around the island and complete stuff. You don't have to interact with other people if you don't want to. It's just there. So the fact that they have single player stuff makes me very happy, because if this was only fighting other people online and that's the only way to level up, I probably wouldn't even touch the mode, even though all the creation parts are locked behind it. So yeah, I guess that would force me to. Either that, or I'll just wait for Ultra Pro Wrestling. Let's see here. Number 8. The story spans 5 chapters that will release throughout the year for free, giving us something to come back to over time. So I'm guessing this is going to have some sort of like battle pass or something, and the story segments are going to have 5 different chapters, which is pretty cool, because then you can't just complete it all right away. I kind of like that, because it'll bring you back to the mode over time, and I think they're doing it this way to keep the player base, keep the rooms full throughout the entire life of the game. Because if they just put all the story stuff in there, right, and you beat it in, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks, beat all of it, you're probably not going to go back into the mode unless to unlock stuff, right? They want to keep people in there to potentially chat and be social and buy stuff and fight with their friends. That way it keeps the game healthy and keep people talking about the game. If, like I said, if everybody just beats everything in a week, then only the hardcore online players will be the ones left. So, yeah. Now we're going to get to the bad. I know this is what you've been waiting for. All right, so here's the bad. Number 1. It sounds like this mode is online only. The whole verbiage and everything, after going back and watching again, even Paul Heyman says in this online mode, if you go through all the information over there on the SmackDown Hotel, every other article makes it sound like it's just multiplayer, online, server-based. There's no offline option, which is going to really suck for when they shut the servers down, because then all this stuff goes away. Like, you won't be able to play that mode anymore, and that really sucks to me. Number 2, look at all the new creation parts and how they are locked on the island, hopefully not locked to PvP. Now, over on the SmackDown Hotel, I was going through everything, and it sounded like to me you have to rank up. You have to level up your rank, and the only way to do that is to play ranked matches to unlock new tiers of stuff to unlock for your character. Hopefully it's just like it unlocks new maybe abilities, like exclusive abilities or exclusive like boost abilities or something, or equipable items, stuff like that. Not necessarily creation parts, but some sort of like you equip this item and it gives you +2 strength. You equip this item, it gives you +8 dexterity, or whatever the hell. Stuff like that. Not necessarily the actual creation parts themselves, because that would suck. Oh, you have to get to, let's say, diamond. Like if you've played Street Fighter, that's, I think it's the highest rank, and it's a pain in the ass to do with any characters, especially if you're kind of out of the game competitive scene like I am. If you have to do that in this game to unlock certain items, that's gonna suck, especially for me, because I love creation stuff and I hate it when they lock it behind online multiplayer. If I can earn it in an offline mode and grinding that way, I'm okay with it, as long as it's not crazy. But if you force me to go online, and especially ranked, to unlock creation parts, I'm just never gonna get those creation parts, because I hate ranked. Although if I get good enough at the game, I was at one point, who knows, I might come out of retirement. All right, number 4, and this kind of plays into what we just talked about, forced PvP to level up and unlock new gear. Hopefully we can unlock just by playing the story mode or completing challenges. Yeah, I just kind of touched on this. Number 5. Now, I don't know if I understood the listing incorrectly or not, but they made it sound like gear that you equipped has stats. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say you have this awesome creation part set, like they showed in the trailer. Let's say that cool superhero suit, and you want the whole set. Let's say the stats of that are terrible compared to, let's say, a New Day t-shirt and sneakers. And the New Day t-shirt and sneakers boost your stats way up, so you see everybody wearing that crap instead of being actually creative with your wrestler and wearing some cool stuff, right? If that's the case, because they did that in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and 1, and it really sucks the fun out of creating your character, because your stats are all over the place. Now you can use, I forget what they're called in that, but you can use items to boost the parts, but I just don't have your stats and stuff tied to creation parts. Have that be like a separate unlock or separate things, like we talked about earlier, like little buffs. Like it could be like diamonds that you equipped in your slots, or hell, cards. It could be cards that you equipped in your slots. Then get creative, or championship belts, or side plates, or something. Don't make creation parts have stats. I think that's stupid. Anyway, so now for the last bit of this video, down to the absolute ugly out of all the information we got. Number 1, when the servers for 2K25 shuts down, we touched on this earlier, do we lose the island? If so, that's the worst news that turns out, if it turns out to be true. So when 2K26 comes out and they finally decide to shut the servers down for 2K25, does that mean we lose the island? Does that mean the island is gone forever and we just have to play whatever they decide to come up with next for 2K26? That's going to suck. Hopefully there's some version of the island that's offline so that you can just go in and have fun, walk around, because I really hope they don't just axe it. My dream of this mode, would be that they build off of it and add on to it in future iterations of the game. If it's online only, treat it like an online only thing and just keep adding to it. And so what happens, it would be, you can't access it anymore in 2K25. They can cut it off if they want to at a certain point. And then you have to buy the next game to access the thing, and some of your stats or your stats carry over. You just have to recreate your character. I feel like that's pretty fair, correct? But no, they're going to make you start over every year, and that's going to suck. And the last thing on this list, the ugly list, there's only 2 things that came to my mind when I was making this video. So the last thing on this list for the ugly is community creations. This could spell doom for community creations. So let's say you have you've unlocked a bunch of cool new creation parts, and you put them on a Creator Wrestler and you upload it at Community Creations. And those parts you unlocked on the island. Let's say another player wants to download your creation, but they haven't unlocked those parts yet in the island, or on the island. I keep saying in the island. On the island, which would mean they can't use the character. And that really sucks because that kind of limits the pool of community creations you can download if you haven't unlocked everything yet. So this, like I said, this could spell doom for community creations. Hopefully they don't put a crap ton in there. Hopefully it's just like a page or two of new creation parts. Hopefully they have a bunch of new creation parts just in the creation suite. Because if it's all the new stuff is locked behind this mode, it's going to be a slog. And what happens if your save file gets corrupt and you have to start over? Do you have to re-unlock everything each time? There's a lot of questions about this. So anyway, what are your major concerns for the mode? Sound off in the comments below. And as always, stay frosty.